So here we are in the second mission, Hebeth. I couldn't tell you. They got a lot of weird names in this game, so just kind of roll with it. The first thing you get here is your shield throw, right? So this thing is so integral to the kit that it's hard to really explain it in depth, right? But this thing is the difference in the fights, right? Like with the big guys, this thing changes the fights completely to where you will be able to control it, control the flow, kind of like the ice bomb in Eternal. There's a lot of good things about the shield toss here, and you kind of have to feel it out for yourself to understand what I'm talking about, right? So this little section, it's just trying to teach you how to use the thing. We're gonna have tutorials for a good few missions, so just kind of get used to it for the time being. This whole part here is just kill a bunch of imp stalkers, then throw the shield at some shield guys, and teaching you how to make the shield super heated so that you can break them with the shield toss. Like, there's a lot of that in here. What I would recommend is, the Shredder's pretty good for it in this little area, but you can just shotgun it. It doesn't really matter. Good tip, though, just in general. Should have told you this in the last one. Don't let anything get behind you, even if it's just like a little zombie guy. Don't let anything get behind you. If you can help it, you play the perimeters of an arena and you just make sure no fodder ends up behind you, and if they are, just kind of keep your eye on any like projectiles and stuff they throw at you, because it will do you a lot of good at the end of the day to, know where these things are. I don't know why I got this secret here. I thought it was going to be something else. So, don't worry about that. Just keep on going. Now, I will say I do clear the levels almost 100% up until I want to say a mission 10, mission 11, somewhere around there, because you want to have a surplus of gold, rubies, and wraith stones, right? Well, wraith stones you don't need excess amounts of. You just need like 2 or 3 tops, right? But you want spares just in case you're going to change strategies down the line, like I did later on. Like, you'll see way later on that I don't stick with everything that I upgrade, right? And I actually end up switching to other stuff that I didn't have anything put into. So it was good to clear their levels completely. Some of them I didn't, of course, but clearing a lot of these levels all the way so that I had a surplus of, materials that I needed. It's just smart. I recommend you do it too. You'll thank me later. Now, this whole section's teaching you about parrying melees, right? These Hell Knights are gonna be annoying at the end of the day, okay? When they're sprinkled in with Garys and Agadons and all that, they can be a nuisance, to say the least. But it's not that bad. Once you get the super shotgun, even unupgraded, it can one-tap these guys. So they're not really that bad later, but right now, they're annoying. So actually deal with them like they were a mancubus. You know, throw the shield into them, and while they're stunned, just dump the fucking shotgun into them, punch them, whatever. As long as you have them stunned, you are in control, and that's important. This whole area is just teaching you about the gold. It's nothing crazy, man. Now, you don't have a lot of choices, but the first upgrade I recommend you get is either the incendiary shotgun shells or something to do with the shield. Because if you upgrade your shield first, that will help you a lot overall. I mean, I get the incendiary just to help with armor, right? But for the most part, the shield is your bread and butter for a lot of enemies, a lot of fodder, and a lot of like locking down the big guys, right? You want your shield upgraded as soon as possible. Trust me on this shit. Because if something hits you and it breaks the shield, that upgrade to make it come back faster is the world of difference to saving your run. It's just how it works, man. So, you choose what you want to choose, but if I see you upgrading the Shredder, we're gonna throw some hands. Anyways, though, pretty much whenever you go after a lot of these secrets, right, there's gonna be some enemy that spawns. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Not every level's gonna have it, but most of them do. So if you go after the secrets and the collectibles, just remember that there's probably going to be something jumping out at you right after you grab it or right before. It can happen either way. It's just good to know these spots in the missions. And if you find that you're struggling in certain mission areas, just think about it like you can go fast here, you can slow down here, take it a bit easier, go slower. Just think about those encounters, right? If they have imp stalkers that are invisible, maybe you want to go a little slower. If it's just a bunch of fodder and like a Hell Knight, go fucking balls to the wall on their asses. Because that's one thing I will say is these demons don't know how to match your aggression sometimes. If you play it really, really aggressive but also smart, the demons have no chance. A lot of the time you can just delete them before they even do damage. So think about that when you're wondering what playstyle you're going to adapt. Because, what weapons you choose does kind of determine that, right? Me, I just like the shotguns a lot. I do love the Impaler. Fucking Impaler gang, man. I'm telling you, that thing is so good. And the chain shot. Of course, I mentioned all these. But I will say the skull weapons, they're fun, but I wouldn't recommend using them in here, just for safety reasons. I know that using shotguns means you have to get close as well, but those things, the skull weapons, just, they put you in so much danger at times, man. I feel like you have to really learn them independently of other weapons to really know where they shine, when to use them, when not to use them, whatever. Whenever the Mancubus spawn in here, I recommend you throw your shield into them to stun them, and then you can shoot them. That's what you saw me doing a lot. It's just to make sure that Mancubus can't flamethrower you when you get close, or do anything really. That's why I also recommend upgrading your shield as soon as possible so that you can lock down the bigger demons a lot more often and for a lot longer. There is another upgrade for the shield that once you get it, you can throw it at fodder and it'll charge it up for the, next shield charge you do, being like really badass. That's like the closest you will get to having a frag grenade in the game, right? So I recommend obviously doing that a bunch, but if you're gonna be charging in all the time, learn what the enemies are gonna do when you get there, because that's pretty important. Because if you charge and don't think about the next step, you could easily end the run right then and there. So it's important to memorize these enemy placements so that you could easily throw the shield and stop them from killing you easily. And just learning in general how you want to have the combat flow. Because if you don't want to charge at all, you don't gotta. But there are clear counters that charge is good for. Later in the game, there's a certain enemy type that it is stellar against. It's one of the best ways to counter one of their moves. Notice I only said one. It's good to know those kinds of things too. Like, okay, can I actually get this off before Mancubus flames me? Is he gonna do the slam when I charge in? Which most of the time they do. There's a few bits of gold that I managed to miss just back there a second ago. It's small stuff, you don't really need it. I know I said I cleared all the stuff in a lot of these levels. Granted, this was the first actual, run-throughs that were successful, right? So I didn't always just, grab everything like I should have. For the harder missions like Siege, Part 1 and 2, Sentinel Barracks, some of those I do grab all the stuff, especially in Siege Part 1. There's so much gold, 4 different rubies. I only show me grabbing 3, but, spoiler alert, I didn't do this in one attempt, right? So I would have to go back and I would refine it, right? So do your practice runs and figure a route out that gets you rubies, gets you gold, and not only that, but it's also like an easier route than just, running headfirst into whatever the hell it is. Granted, there are some missions where you have that choice and where you don't. Just, play each mission differently, like plan it out differently, alright? Not every mission's gonna need the level of planning that you need to do for, say, Siege Part 1, but you definitely shouldn't treat every mission as just a mech mission, They say it's just super easy and you turn your brain off, right? Like this encounter, just for example, has a few of those invisible stalker imps, right? And as you kill these guys, they'll just pop up behind you if you're not careful of positioning. It'll spawn in, I think, a little bit before the Mancubus or right when the Mancubus does. So, like, you clear out a few of the guys, the heavy demons, quote unquote, and then, some of the smaller guys too, like stone imps. And then you have the real problems to deal with. You can see the normal imp stalkers, but the actual invisible ones are the ones that can easily catch you. Like, I had a death here in a later attempt of the runs, just making me restart just one whole mission again, but it's still annoying, right? So try to memorize the encounters. I mean, the Mancubus here is one of the worst guys, but you can avoid him. You want to dance around the arena as much as you can. Get the imps out of there. Stone, Stalker, it doesn't matter. Imps are the fucking enemy, okay? Other than that, I mean, there's not really a lot to talk about in this mission. It's kind of why I've just been yapping, right? These early missions don't require a lot of guidance, in my opinion. You can kind of figure these out relatively simply if you've done other Doom games before, especially Ultra Nightmare. I mean, it's kind of just another day at the park for you. It's the, let's say, mid to late game, even, some of the early-ish, like, into the early game, that you actually kind of have to worry about. Right here, you just seen me walk right past a chest, man. Like, I did not know the levels nearly as much as I do now when I was first doing these. So, just keep that in mind. I tried my best not to, sit there and spam the map all the time so that it looked a little better overall. Just plan everything out before, like I mentioned. Everything you want to grab and you don't need, take notes of it, and as you do your practice runs, either grab it or don't, you know? It's up to you. I only show y'all, like, what I've done because it's kind of like a guideline, right? Like, you see what worked for me, maybe it'll work for you. If it doesn't, change it. That's all it is, really. Like, you don't have to copy anybody's one playstyle to a T. Develop your own and see what works. It's the only way to do this, in my opinion. If you're struggling overall, I know this sounds weird, but don't listen to the game at all. If you want to actually listen to the game, turn the music down. I know that's blasphemous. I fucking hate saying that. And just keep the sounds on. Keep the voices down even too. Fuck it. Don't listen to anybody. Just listen to what the demons do, basically. Because you can hear them a lot more if you don't have, the badass heavy metal blaring in your ears, right? It's one thing you have to sacrifice if you want to actually get a little better. But when I said don't listen to it, I mean, like, maybe listen to music, listen to like a podcast, some YouTube video, anything. When you do that, yeah, sure, you're taking your ears out of the equation, but you'll force your brain and your eyes to be working a little bit overtime, right? You might feel out the spaces a little better because you're actually having to think, this is where the corners are, here's where the cover is, here's, where the Mancubus is going to spawn, here's where this is. Like, you'll start making mental notes over time. And if you do this enough, you will not even be thinking when you do this stuff. You'll be acting on pure instinct, right? It's kind of how I do this, is I play this stuff enough where I kind of know what all the enemies are going to do no matter what, if I'm far away, if I'm close, whatever. And I'm doing it while I'm listening to whatever, music, podcasts, whatever, right? It's just something I've noticed that's helped me kind of remember this stuff a lot more. I don't know why. It's up to you. But this Pinky Rider, I usually recommend that you shield toss them to lock them down and then you can do damage, but this guy's a leader, so you can't do that shit. So when you fight leaders, remember that you can't, shield toss them and make them just sit there do nothing while they just eat your bullets. You have to actually play around them a little more. Also, if a leader normally has a 2-hit combo, it can become a 3 when he's a leader. So they'll do more combos and chaining of their attacks when they're leaders. Moving on to Barrier Core. This is another one of those ones where I really don't feel like I have to tell you a lot of things to do. The game tells you everything you need to do here, but in general, it's faster to do the combo attacks like the palm or the stomp. Then it's way faster to do those than to just kill the guy by punching him, of course, if you wanted to like save it for like the next guy or whatever. It's way easier to just use them and then earn it again off of the next guy than it is to just fucking do this, right? So be wary of that. Whenever, later in the game when you get that third combo hit or whatever the fuck, the siege breaker, it's a lot easier to just siege breaker them, get the two punches and a dodge off, and then you can siege breaker the next guy. You see what I'm saying? So, pretty much just stay good on dodges, only really throw punches to build the meter, and when you have it full, just smack the guys in them, get it over with. The sad part is, this section you actually have to dodge the attacks, and, I don't pay attention to all that a lot of the time. Even though I ran these as practice runs, I would still just space it completely, thinking like, oh yeah, just get rid of the guy, and you'll be alright. No, they just keep spawning demons until you're actually done, doing the 2 or 3 dodges, right? So, just get that shit done as soon as possible, and then actually run through this mission. The mission's probably one of the shorter ones in the game. You only have to fight, you know, probably like what, 10 guys overall, right? And this is the flow right here. You punch them, you dodge, and then you hit the combo attack on them. Now, if you want like target prioritization, these guys, always and forever, the guys that shoot lasers out of their fucking eyes. Those guys suck. I hate those guys. All my homies hate those guys. Here's me just being stupid again, right? Like, I would do this in practice runs thinking that's the right way to go, even though I know it's this way. And I just tried to play it off, I'm gonna be real. I'm telling you that because, like, who fucking cares, man? I'm just stupid at times, man. When I do runs like this, like, I don't think, like I was kind of mentioning a little earlier. It's kind of like I just act in missions like this. Not really, thinking about, oh yeah, I need to dodge this, need to dodge that. It's just reactionary. So, when you get to this part, it's just as easy as you hit the dodge button and you just hold down the fire button on these guys, man. Like, you'll do more damage as long as you're actually dodging stuff. It's kind of like the whole thing about the guns with these missions. Anytime you're in the mech, you dodge, it supercharges the damn thing, you do more damage. It's that easy, right? These missions are a really nice break from the more stressful ones that you have to do. So I'm more than happy to do these kind of missions, but I don't want too many of them. It's just a nice little breather from, you know, fighting on the ground, fighting the crazy guys. I mean, granted, it's early game, you're not seeing anything crazy yet, but the next mission has a Gary in it. The first one, he's also a champion. So it's going to start getting real pretty soon. But the good thing is you start getting better arsenals and whatnot, so just think about that stuff. These ones, it's just, you just gotta do them. You gotta do these missions to get through, the rest of the game, so here we are. As I'm yapping away, you seeing the super easy mission get done, right? They're really not stressful. Sure, you could easily die here just like anywhere else, and, I've almost done that myself, but it's because I just wasn't thinking. The very last enemy you fight in this mission, he makes sure that you don't go full aggression. Like, you have to dodge first, and then you can throw hands with him. Because if you straight up just swing at him, you're pretty liable to take a lot of damage or possibly almost die if you do that, because of his, like, weird red shield thing he's got going on there. I don't know the whole shtick, I just know don't fuck with him if he's got it raised. It's that easy. So if you need it, go ahead and do practice runs here, but it shouldn't take you too long to get this mission done, thankfully. And you should be able to just move right on to the next one, which it'll be a little harder than this one because, you're not in the mech. You're back being Doom Guy again. But it shouldn't be that bad at the end of the day. thankfully this one, nice and easy, nothing to really worry about. You can get it done, no problem.